Hi, I'm Tom Tincher. I'm here for the R&R on Scranton, but we're out at 176 and Green Bay Road. It's pretty windy and noisy out here. I came here today because R&R on Scranton is going to interview the author and illustrator of The Town Turkey. That's Catherine Driscoll and Jeffrey Wood. They're back over in the studio, which I think is probably a better place for us to be. So why don't we walk over there, although I did want you to see where the turkey used to be. We're back in here in our safe harbor, and I'm going to sit down with Kathleen and Jeffrey, and we're going to go back to what we were talking about out on the street, the town turkey. And we have Kathleen Driscoll. You're looking at her right now, and next to her is Jeffrey Wood. The two of them are collaborators on the town turkey. So let's, ladies first, okay, Jeff?
That's quite all right.
Okay, Catherine, why don't you pick up the mic and tell us how you got this wonderful idea and what caused you to turn it into a book?
Well, thank you, Tom. Like many people who live in Lake Bluff, I was completely surprised and enamored of this little turkey who appeared on the corner of 176 in Green Bay, and had so much fun every time I drove past the corner, driving my kids to school or going to the rec center, looking for this turkey. And I thought it was just charming. I thought it was wonderful that we had this little surprise visitor in town, and I thought it was pretty remarkable that he just plopped down and decided to live here. So I kept thinking about it, and one day I wrote a little poem about it, and I sent it to Gazebo News, and received such a great response from people about the poem that was published. And some of the things that people said to me were, when I pass the corner, I hear your words in my head, or you perfectly described how all of us feel about the turkey, that we felt very special that this little turkey had just appeared in town. So after I wrote the poem and received this tremendous response, I thought, okay, why not turn it into a children's book? So I started rewriting it a little bit, to more like a children's book, with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Catherine, let me interrupt just a second, because I think the people who are viewing are just like me. They want to know, have you written books before? Is this something that you do all the time? What's your background for this outpouring of literary, I guess you'd say, creativity?
Well, I am a professional writer, but mostly what I write are business communications, annual reports and speeches and magazines. I've done some newspaper and magazine writing as well, but pretty much I deal in strategic business communications. So this is definitely the first children's book I have ever written, but it's been a labor of love. I spent a number of years doing children's theater through a nonprofit group sponsored by the Junior League of Chicago. And in those 8 years, I spent a lot of time in libraries reading and acting out children's books to try to encourage children to read. And we were called the Mad Hatters, and we wore different hats to act out all these great stories. And so I learned a lot about what makes a really good children's book just through that experience. So it's been a great learning experience for me, because this is definitely the first book I've ever published.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to repeat the poem, but I am going to ask you where Jeffrey steps into the picture. How did you two get together, and where did that collaboration begin?
Well, Jeff and I have actually known each other pretty much our whole lives, and ironically, we have spent an inordinate number of Thanksgivings together, which I think is kind of funny. But our families, both of our families are longtime friends, and we actually lived on the same block together in St. Louis when we were both very young. And then Jeff's family moved to Lake Forest, and then some years later, my family moved to Lake Forest, and we happened to buy a house a block away from the woods yet again. So we've known each other our whole lives.
Yeah. So ever since I was 3 and she was 0, we've really known each other, and so it's been a great opportunity to work together for a change.
Jeffrey, what's your background in Lake Forest, then, that our viewers might recognize?
Well, I grew up here predominantly, graduated from Lake Forest High School in I didn't want people to know I was 50.
You missed the reunion?
I missed the reunion, I did. But longtime Lake Forest resident. My brothers both still live here. And my mom and dad were, very active in the community. My mother ran the Deer Path Art Gallery for about 20 years. My father was key in helping to create the Gordon Community Center acting group and center stage, as well as being a lead actor and background actor in many, many productions here in town. So, for me, I now currently reside in Pittsburgh, but this has been a great chance to come back and and touch base again with all the people and places I know.
And Catherine, your family background.
Well, I moved to Lake Forest when I was 8 years old and went through the whole school system, went through Lake Forest High School. Then I left town and went to University of Georgia for undergraduate, and then moved back here after college and worked in the corporate world for about 15 years, and then went out on my own about 10 years ago.
Do either of you remember the poem that Catherine referred to earlier? Can you recite it?
I can't recite it, but she may be able to.
Can you give me the highlights?
Once upon a time, on a busy corner in a little village in a big country, there appeared a little turkey. The people who lived in the village were stunned. They'd never seen a wild turkey before. And that's how it begins.
And it has been captured on paper by Jeffrey. Jeff, how did you get the inspirations? I looked through your book earlier, and you've got a lot of local color in those photographs, or pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. Catherine was, we had been collaborating. She told me the whole story and even sent me a few photos of the turkey itself and explained the situation. I'm familiar enough with the area to know the gazebo and even that particular corner, which I have a history of myself, where unfortunately I had my first car accident when I was 17. So I'm very familiar with the corner, so it was not hard to redraw that particular spot.
I don't think your accident was caused by a turkey, though, was it, Jeff?
No, the turkey was not the issue. It was my poor driving skills and being 17.
And Jeff, where would we have seen some of the projects that you have when you're a businessman?
Well, I've done some national and international television as well as print ads, from People magazine and Rolling Stone and other things. My predominant client these days is Transitions Lenses. Love you guys. And it's a fabulous product and a fabulous company, but I do all kinds of different marketing for other clients as well, from branding, print to TV.
Tom, I have to put a plug in for Jeff, who is also known in the Pittsburgh area as Cone Man.
It's what man?
Cone Man.
Cone.
So he truly needs to explain this one.
That's a little more complicated. I actually got to live out a childhood fantasy of becoming a superhero. One of my clients in downtown Pittsburgh, they were closing the main artery in and out of the city, and they needed a cartoon character. They wanted to develop a superhero that would help mitigate traffic. And so I created Cone Man. And it's a whole series of posters and TV commercials and websites that help people find detours and other bus routes to get around some of the traffic. And we even made a foam costume and had personal appearances, sadly, which I became the guy in the costume.
You didn't get to put the cape on and dance around?
Oh, I did.
In your tights?
I wore the yellow tights, the cape, the whole 9 yards, and I would walk around at children's events or standing next to the mayor at a podium on the steps of City Hall christening the new highway. Still in that voice, hello, good citizens, it's Cone Man. So I did get to live out that childhood fantasy.
First thing I thought you were going to have was the Cone Heads, as I recall. That was a TV show. Catherine, what have you been doing lately that we should know about?
Well, let's see. I have been dealing in much more serious subject matter other than little turkey books. I do quite a bit of writing for the Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And so I'm right now in the process of writing their annual reports, and it's incredibly rewarding because I have the opportunity to interview and write the stories about cancer survivors who have really faced some incredible battles and have come out really well on the other side. So that's very rewarding.
And what do your kids think about this sudden onslaught of popularity, and now you're on TV and you have a book and your collaborator is there making long-distance trips to support you?
I think, you know what, I hope it inspires them, to be totally honest with you. This was kind of a crazy idea, and I picked up the phone and called Jeff and said, I have a totally ridiculous and crazy idea for you, and feel free to say no if you're too busy and you don't have time to do it. But I'm hoping they've learned something from this, that if you want to do something, just do it. Just put your mind to it and decide you're going to do it and get it done, and that's what we did.
So you turned to Cone Man and he leaped forward, a man of steel.
Well, Jeff is hoping that this will now replace his epitaph. We will not have Cone Man on his gravesite. It'll now be
the town turkey guy.
I've already become known. I've already become known as the turkey lady. When I see little kids in town, they go, "Are you the turkey lady?" So I'm not really sure how I feel about that.
Don't you have the book here? I see a poster behind you. Is there a cover or something you can show up now? Because I want to ask a question about the book.
Sure.
Jeff, if you hold that, I'll zoom in on it. Where can a person who now sees this show get a copy of that book?
Good question, Tom. Town Turkey is going to be sold at Peg Ann Company in Lake Bluff for the first few weeks. We'll definitely be carrying the book at the Lake Bluff Library and Lake Forest Library as well.
Now, if my eyes don't deceive me, I'm looking at a T-shirt behind you there. Jeff, or can you tell us about that?
We also have available a number of different T-shirt designs and sizes for children with some of the smaller turkeys, as well as more adult ones. Adult sizes and different designs from the book itself. So yeah, there are T-shirts available in different colors, as well as even cooking aprons.
Yeah, Catherine, model the apron for us. Oh, come on, you have to stand up and
Oh my goodness. Okay.
drape it on there.
Here we go.
There you go.
Our Town Turkey.
Not you, the shirt.
The shirt.
Very good. I guess I've already asked the question, but now you brought in some new items. Where can the T-shirt and the apron be purchased?
Well, again, T-shirts and aprons can be purchased at Peg Ann Company, uptown in Lake Bluff, as well as on the website, thetownturkey.com.
Now give us the website address in case some of our viewers want to talk directly to you.
Absolutely. It's www.thetownturkey.com. And we also have a lot of fun things on the website, too. Jeff and I have had the opportunity of doing a show like this, and we gave a radio interview a little while ago. And we also, Jeff took the line drawings meaning just the sketch drawings, not colored in, from the book, and we created coloring book pages for little kids. And those are available on the website, too. People can download them on their computers and print them out, and all their kids can sit and color all the little turkeys.
But they come out as a page unit, and you just
yeah, it's
fill
just
in?
single 8.5 by 11 pages, little coloring book pages, and they can color in the turkeys and the illustrations from the book.
You're going to gather those together and publish them?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with them. We're looking forward tomorrow at the book signing event. Jeff is going to be sitting at the table with all the little turkeys coloring in pictures, so that'll be fun.
Little turkeys meaning?
Little kids.
The younger turkeys.
Although maybe the big turkeys at the Noodle Bar, they might they may enjoy coloring as well. I'm not really sure.
Now this is a trick question, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but what was the name chosen by popular request for the turkey at 176 and Green Bay Road?
There were many names, but I believe the town official name that was voted on 4th of July was Jeff.
Really?
Really?
How did they know?
I voted for Tom. I don't understand why I didn't. Well, thank you both for the interview. We appreciate it, and we'll look forward to many happy hours reading to our grandchildren and children the copy of a book that's available all over town, The Town Turkey. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you so much, Tom.